Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited today. I'm talking to Natasha from Arttisery here in the capital. Thank you so much for inviting me into your kitchen.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
I think it's so difficult sometimes to get into pastry chefs' kitchens because they don't want to show you all their techniques and stuff. So I'm so excited because I like baking for my babies, and so it's so nice for me to actually see how it's done.
Oh, that's wonderful. No, and I love to share expertise because that's what we have to do. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, and that's the whole pastry industry is a training.
And especially in Namibia, where the industry is so small, we have to take hands.
We do. No, we 100% have to.
Can you tell us, when did your business start?
So my business actually started in 2018. I took kind of like a gap year after I finished working at my previous job, and then I did all my branding and all of that and found my name, and then did a few cakes here and there, but then I put that on hold for a while because I needed to explore a little bit more out of life. And then I basically came back from South Africa this year, and then I came back in March, and that's where I hit the ground running with Arttisery, and that's where I started this year, March.
That's amazing. Yeah. What can clients expect? What comes out of your kitchen?
Well, I do a lot of different things. I do a lot of catering for sweets and dessert tables. So things like brownies and macaroons and cookies, iced cookies. And I do a lot of boxes for event days like Mother's Day and Father's Day, which is actually surprisingly very, very popular here in Windhoek. That's so much fun for me. And then obviously birthday cakes, wedding cakes, anniversary cakes, all these elaborate cakes that we can do and we decorate beautifully. And just, I just love making memories for people. Yeah.
What do you love about being in the kitchen and baking?
It's a complete passion of mine. I started a love for pastry when I was very small. Well, pastry baking, when you iced cookies and you ate all the icing and all that. And I had a passion for art. And I actually just combined my passion for art and my hobby for baking. And that's first of all where Arttisery comes from. It's about creating memories for people, and I love challenging myself and competing against myself all the time because I always want to do better, and if there's something that I can't do, I will work so hard until I can get it right because I have to get it right.
But that's the thing, especially when baking. We just spoke about it off camera. When you overcook the steak, you can just grab a new one. But when you made a mistake when baking, you have to redo everything.
You have to, yes.
And I think that's where it comes in, where you challenge yourself to do better.
Yes.
And to get that meringue to set.
Exactly, precisely. And I will never give a client something that's subpar. I will work through the night if I have to get it completely right so that my client gets the best of the best.
What was the biggest mistake you've made in the kitchen?
Oh, wow. The biggest mistake I've made in the kitchen. Well, I mean, there are many, many times where you would do something and then, like for example, when I was the sous pastry chef at Dallegraf, there were many situations where if something didn't set and that dessert is going out that day. And that's where the term spinning comes from, because you literally spin the whole day long and you're just very focused and you look very mean. That's why pastry chefs have this reputation of looking and being quite mean. It's just because you're focusing so hard to get this thing right. But things like that, or a cake collapsing, that's happened before. Thank goodness, not with the client, but before the delivery. Yeah. And then you have to beg and say, can we please do a delivery tomorrow? Because there's a little bit of a kitchen crisis at this time. But that's only happened once. And you learn from that and you don't allow it to happen again.
Well, it's nice to know you can learn from your mistakes. Yes. And luckily we are in the position to redo sometimes.
Oh, yes, exactly. And you don't have to tell your client everything either.
They don't have to know everything.
They don't have to know. All they need to know is that final product, that's perfect. They don't need to know the rigmarole, all the stress behind how you got that product to be perfect.
Okay. Where does your passion come from? Is this something that runs in the family?
No, it doesn't run in the family at all. Sorry, Mom. No, it's just we grew up in the hospitality industry, and I think that had a big influence on me. And when I was small, I was always in the kitchens at the hotels and saw and always baked with them and saw what they were doing, and was so intrigued by this whole concept. And it was just also with the artistry. And I mean, if you look at a cake like that, it's art. It's not. Yes. It's not just a cake. there's a lot of work and a lot of passion. And
do you have a good support system?
I have an incredible support system. I mean, this used to be my dad's study. And I was like, I need a bigger space. I need space on my own to be able to do things. I need my things around me. And he graciously offered me his study so that I could make this into a studio. And what happened was, after I left Dali, then I did a collaboration with a friend of mine with Cake Me Happy. She's in South Africa. And I realized doing this, or starting Arttisery in Cape Town, it was a lot harder because I didn't have my support system with me. And moving here, it was just, I knew I would hit the ground running, and I really did, because I've got my friends and my family, and they have really carried me through, especially in these beginning months. They really have carried me through, and I'm very grateful.
And it's amazing, especially when you don't follow in your parents' footsteps.
Yes.
For them to actually allow you to be your own person and to do what you love.
Oh yes, no, they are very big supporters in that regard. They're just like, do what makes you happy, be passionate about whatever you do, and just we'll be there in the scenes, behind the scenes.
I love parents who are like that, because my parents were like that as well.
Great. That's fantastic. No, I love them.
Thank you so much for your time.